This is our 25th anniversary celebration Spring Sharathon as we look back on the first 25 years of Yes FM. And as we look back on the first 25 years, it would not be complete if we did not talk about Sanctus Real. Hello, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Who we got with us here?
Got Mark
And Chris.
Yep.
All right. So how you guys been doing?
Been doing really well, actually. Just kind of trucking along and just running after this thing still, which is kind of crazy. You guys are celebrating the 25th anniversary, and we just celebrated 20 years this past year.
That's right.
So I feel like we've grown up together. How about that?
Yeah, gosh, I remember when I kept hearing from you guys wanting us to play your music, and okay, we'll play it, and wow, look where it went from there.
we were totally those obnoxious kids coming in there with CDs and just knocking on the door all the time, calling you guys up, trying to be cool and get somebody's attention.
Well, let's look back on that. How'd you guys all get started, and tell us about the early years of Sanctus Real.
Well, it was 1996. We were in high school, and I was kind of new to Christian music myself, and I remember coming into the store over there and buying some of my first tapes.
Tapes.
I remember buying the first Skillet tape, the first Switchfoot tape, Audio Adrenaline, and just it was kind of a new world to me, even down to Yes FM. Just the fact that there was this music that was out, it was on the airwaves, and as a young guitar player, just kind of learning how to play music, it was really inspiring to me. And I grew up in the church, and growing up it was choir, and so it was just during this time of change, and Yes FM was always kind of on the cutting edge of that, and I firmly believe that without Yes FM we wouldn't have formed Sanctus Real.
Wow. Because
just the influence that you guys have in the area and at that time and on my life as a 16-year-old was huge. And so for that, I'm very grateful, and just happy to be able to share the story with you guys and how this band came to be and how you allowed us to play for a lot of concerts that came into the area that you guys hosted. I remember one of the first shows we got to play at was when you guys were doing shows at the Toledo Zoo. And I think, what was the first time we got to play there? Was it with...
I think Sonic Flood. We opened for Sonic Flood there back in the day, and then got to open for The Waiting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, two great concerts, summertime in Toledo at the zoo with Yes FM. I mean, as a high schooler, it just doesn't get much cooler than that. When I look back at that, it was just an amazing time for us as a young band. So...
Yeah. Wow, now bands are saying that about you. I got to open for Sanctus Real.
It's crazy, and it goes around and around. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So before we get to when you guys really started to go national, there's one song that always stood out that became a song that you always had to play. I think you know which one I'm talking about, huh?
Oh, man, I'm scared. I don't. Going back,
what you're talking about.
Mark knows.
You're talking about Coffee of Life, aren't you?
Yeah. do you
said that with hesitation. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, so... I don't know. I wasn't at your last concert here, but every time you guys came to Toledo, for a while there, you had to play it, or people wouldn't let you leave the building.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy how, I guess that was like when we started the band, Chris, Matt, all kind of were playing some music together before, so they had a handful of songs that they had kind of come up with together, and myself and a friend of ours, Mike Gee, ended up kind of joining them, and that was the beginning of Sanctus Real. And I think the first song that Matt Hammett had written once it was Sanctus Real was this Coffee of Life song, which basically sounded like a pretty terrible version of a Green Day song or something. It was just very kind of semi-punk rock, just same chords over and over again, same melody over and over again with just different words. But for whatever reason, people loved it.
Yeah, it's just like people love that Gimme That song from KJ52. He talks about Mountain Dew. It's like that and your coffee song, or it's just something about caffeine, I guess.
The beverages has something to do with that, I guess. Maybe we need another song about coffee, or who knows? We'll have to brew on that.
Nah.
No pun intended.
Well,
but then, like, I didn't like coffee, obviously, as a teenager. Yeah. I don't think any of us did, but now it's like, now it has more application to my life.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, of course, Matt Hammett had a signature sound to his voice that you knew when he sung. You knew it was Matt singing. But do you have a kind of, I feel anyway, your guitar work has always had that signature sound that you know it's Chris Roman. Did that just come to be? Do you even realize that? Or what's your insight on that personally?
Oh, man, Jeff, that's crazy. I would attribute it to teaching myself guitar in my bedroom and not having, like the resources people have today are unending, to teach themselves how to play an instrument. And, as a 13, 14-year-old kid back in the 90s, the resources I had a few guitar books. I had a little guitar amp in my room, and I had a handful of tapes, maybe a few CDs that I just really loved and inspired me. And I think a lot of it was just from a lack of being able to really mimic what I was hearing and figure it out for myself accurately. So I just developed different ways to kind of get there, and I guess it developed my sound and kind of the way I think musically, which, now being in music for so long and getting to interact with people that actually know music and know theory and know all there is to know about how things really work musically, that's eye-opening. That's been eye-opening too. So I think no matter where you're at as a musician, I would just say just find ways to become inspired and don't let things limit you. And for me, that always meant trying to be creative, not just emulate what you like. You can start there, but try to make your own sounds, make your own voice. And I appreciate you saying that. And that's encouragement I give kids all the time when they come through the line and they're bringing guitar through to sign or whatever. Like, I just find that so humbling that people would listen to our music and know that, it's a group effort, and it's different things inspire the songs, whether it's a guitar riff or a melody or a line. It all comes together and makes something bigger than just one of us, which has always been a cool thing for us.
Cool. We're talking with Chris Roman and Mark Grauman of Sanctus Real, and we mentioned the song. We found it. We still had it in the studio here. We got to play it, okay, guys?
Is it on vinyl? What?
No. And we don't even have it on tape. We actually have it on CD, and this is one of the first CDs.
That cost $20.
And I'm guessing this is this has got to be the CD that you originally gave us way back in the day to play this song. So sit back and enjoy a cup of coffee with Sanctus Real.
Drinking the coffee of life, smoking my candy cigarettes, ruling this world full of method and marijuana. Don't care for others, they don't love themselves. Passing by is my life. Do you see me the way I am, innocent? Won't you jump into my cab or rocket ship? I'm going somewhere you'll never forget. Into my magic time machine, I'll take you somewhere you held Drinking the coffee, I fly smoking my candy, say alright roulette. This world full of mentions and heroines looking for love, cause they don't love themselves. Jump into my cargo rocket ship, I'm going somewhere you'll never forget. Into my magic machine, I'll take you somewhere you held no regrets.
There you go. Coffee of Life, Sanctus Real on Yes FM. We got Chris Roman and Mark Grauman from Sanctus Real on the line, and we wouldn't do that any other interview, but since we're celebrating 25 years, we had to. So.
Sorry about that. So the end cost extra, I think. I remember.
Yeah, you have to pay double royalties on your...
Yeah, okay, I was just thinking, okay, they're going to probably ban us from playing that song ever again.
Yeah. Now, if you don't want to hear that song again, all you listeners, call 419-389-0893 and pledge now. We'll do our best to keep that off the airwaves.
Or we'll play it in a loop.
Yeah, or it goes continually.
And then you guys never did that on any of your signed albums, not even as a hidden track, did you?
No.
Why not? And wow, what a long way, a long road from that to now. I mean, recently when Matt was still with the band, Lead Me, and now This Is Love. Big span of time there.
Yeah, right. Thankfully.
Yeah, you guys have gotten much better.
I don't even think my kids have heard that song. And as you were playing, I was thinking, what would my kids think if they heard this right now? Oh, man.
You guys wanted us to play it.
Hey, we're up for surprises. It's all good.
Though it was, 20 years ago, but you guys wanted us to play it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's awesome.
Well, speaking of now, where are you guys at now? I mean, of course, many staff changes, band lineup changes over the years. Tell us about Sanctus Real 2017.
Well, I'll tell you where we are literally at right now is we're down in Nashville, Tennessee. Kind of working on some stuff this week. Getting ready, gearing up for a new Sanctus Real record. Including some new radio singles that we'll be pushing your guys' way fairly soon. Yeah, I mean, obviously after 20 years, there's been many changes that have happened. We've had lineup changes. We've had, not even sure how many bass players we've had at this point, 4 or 5 now or something. And a couple guitar player changes, and most recently a lead singer change. And obviously our friend Matt Hammett felt led to step out of the group a couple years ago, and at that point, Chris and I were just really everything was totally up in the air. Obviously, what we had known as our daily lives for 20 years, it just changed dramatically, and so we put it all up in the air with open hands. Just God, what do you want us to do? Is this done for Matt? Is this done for all of us? Is it is there? If it's going to move forward, how is that possible? And as we prayed and sought the Lord, I think the biggest thing for us was, we don't want to twist any arms or push any buttons to make this happen. God, if it's your will for it to move forward, you got to bring us the right person. You do it, And I think as we surrendered that to the Lord, God honored that greatly and brought us. Quite literally just brought us this guy who was a perfect fit for our band, kind of just out of thin air. And, Dustin Lally has entered the picture as our new lead singer, and it's amazing front man, amazing songwriter and vocalist, and just all-around great guy who loves Jesus. And, yeah, so here we are, beginning all over again with renewed passion and renewed excitement for this whole thing.
Any timeline for a new album, or when we might see a new song or hear a new song?
You know, last night we actually just got the first batch mastered. A couple songs we were really excited about. Kind of some new sounds for us. So we're down here game planning things right now, and we're hoping to have something out, at least the first song to release by mid-June. That's the goal at this point, and we haven't really said that to anybody yet, but that's what we're shooting for, and we have some cool stuff happening to get there, and just trying our best to put all the pieces in place, and hoping for a whole new season with these new songs we feel we've been given.
When we hear it, can you kind of tell us a little about some of the songs, or not yet? Like what the sound?
Yeah.
Or, okay, great.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, the past year and a half, Dustin and I, we've gotten together probably almost every week to write and just hone in what it is that we want this band to become for the next 20 years, even, you know, whatever that looks like. And it's taken a lot of songs, a lot of ideas, and I feel like in a very, really, I mean, if you look at the whole span of the band of 20 years and you take the past year plus with Dustin, I feel like God has really began something new in a very short amount of time, and there's been a lot of changes that have had to happen to get us there, that I've seen God give us the grace to kind of walk through in His own time, which I'm just amazed by. And speaking of those changes, I think that's actually one of the songs we're going out with first. It's going to be a song called Changed, and I think it really resonated with me, the idea, when we first started writing it, because of this whole thing we've been through, and how God doesn't want us to be the same that we were yesterday. And He's always renewing us and refining us. And I've seen that play out in a situation of being in this band my whole life that maybe at times I thought that was impossible. And so that's going to be a really, I think, powerful song for me and to share with people, that God loves us so dearly that He wants the best for us, and He wants to change those things in our lives that don't bring us closer to Him. He wants that intimate relationship with us, and He's willing to put us through the things that will get us there. So I'm excited for you guys to hear that one, hopefully very soon.
All right, can't wait.
Exciting.
Awesome. We're talking with Chris Roman and Mark Grallman of Sanctus Real. And Mark, as we're looking back on the first 25 years of Yes FM, you played a brief part in that history, didn't you? You were on staff for a little bit.
That's right. Had to think for a second as to what you were talking about. Like, oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah. There was a short moment there that I got to be an official Yes FM DJ and do some voiceover tracking and some DJing on the air with you guys. And yeah, I'm a little sad that didn't last longer, but I guess it's a good thing. I was busy doing this whole Sanctus Real thing we're talking about.
More
so
important
I guess
stuff
it's
to
good,
do.
But yeah, there were some good memories from that. It was definitely a cool little time.
Well, share any memories that you have of the history of Yes FM, whether it's Yes FM or just the music, and you guys as a band. Share some of your heart and memories. Right?
Oh man, there's so many. You know, obviously, everything that Yes FM has meant to Sanctus Real. I mean, you guys gave us so many opportunities that probably, you know, for the average local band in any other town would have never had. You know, you guys bringing in so many different national acts to do concerts, whether they were big ones over at Stranahan Theater, or whether they were smaller ones there at what used to be the SFM Cafe out there in Maumee. You know, you guys were always very open to having us come out and open the show, no matter what the band was that was playing or the artist or whatever. And so, yeah, it was just, you guys gave us so many opportunities. And so, as Chris said earlier, I agree. I'm just forever thankful for everything that you guys did, and just, the obvious belief you guys had in us. At a time, and let's be honest, we all just listen to Coffee of Life. At a time when, wow, the fact that you guys saw anything in us was amazing. But you did, and so we really appreciate that. And there's so many just awesome memories of just getting to do things like that. But, even beyond that, there's so many concerts that I went to as a teenager that inspired me, that, definitely helped shape what God was showing me in my heart that I was called to do, with our band. And just so many things that happened through the ministry of YesFM. I even think of things like the March for Jesus that you guys were a huge part of, that used to happen back in the day. And just, I don't know, something about the ministry of YesFM taught me at an early age to be bold about my faith, and to be just be willing to live out my faith publicly and openly and with boldness, and to strive for integrity. And I don't know, you guys have had such a huge impact on people in our city. It's amazing.
Awesome. Thanks. And thank you guys for the great music that you've given us the opportunity to play to help us sound good. And also all the love and support that you've shown for us over the years. We really do appreciate you guys and our friendship and relationship with you guys. So thank you. And Mark, one thing I want to say good about you is, being a drummer, it's got to be a bummer sometimes because you're always in the background. But you were one that, unlike most drummers, are always up in the forefront. You would be speaking from stage. You would always have a chance to speak, and then you would be in the forefront afterwards to be there to meet with people and talk with people. So that's something I admire about you as a drummer. So thank you for your heart.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's funny because I'm actually really kind of a shy person who can go from introvert to extrovert when needed, but yeah. So thanks for saying that.
Oh, we can relate. I'm the same way. So.
Yep.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Get back to making that album so we can get some music.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send it your way, Jeff.
All
Love
right,
you guys.
But before we let you go, we got to give you a chance to brag on your families. How are your families doing?
Really good, really good. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Susan, who actually, in fact, we will be celebrating 14 years of marriage here in just about a week, I guess, on the 17th.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And, of course, my awesome, crazy, knucklehead children. My three boys, Ben, Nate, and Elliot, they're all in school at the moment, but, yeah, families are awesome.
Yeah, it's great that we have wives and families that support us in all this, and the craziness being away. My wife Dominique's home with our 4 children. It's crazy to say that we have 4 kids now. I'm just so blessed. And our youngest is only 10 months old. So from 8 years old to 10 months old, there's a lot going on. So I love you, Dominique. I'm sure she's probably listening. And thanks for the shout out opportunity.
No problem. Well, guys, thanks for spending some time with us this morning to celebrate 25 years of YesFM, and also to celebrate 20 years of Sanctus Real. And looking forward to many more from you guys too, and excited that you got some new music coming out. Anything else before we go? You want to make sure we talk about before we go to your newest song that we have from featuring Dustin on vocals?
Awesome. What song are you about to play here?
This Is Love.
Very cool.
All right. Well,
I'll tell you what. How about we've actually got Mr. Dustin Lally here with us. Maybe we'll let him introduce that song, if that's all right.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Chris and Mark. Great talking with you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. This is Jeff. Just say hi.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, Dustin. All right. Well, welcome to the Toledo family here, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You're an honorary fellow Toledo.
It's nice to be with the Toledo family in Nashville.
So were you from originally, Dustin?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Where are you from originally?
I am from and I do mean just north of the border. there.
Oh, okay, so you are from the
I'm
area.
actually kind of local.
Okay.
Kinda.
All right, cool. Excited to hear some what songs you've written for the new album here, and we're going to play "This Is Love," the first song that we ever heard from Sanctus Real with Dustin Lally on lead vocals. Correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell us about the song.
Oh man, that song was a pretty quick write, and I kind of came up with lyrics in certain parts of the melody, and then brought it to the genius that is Chris Roman, and he kind of made it great. I think. I guess that's subjective as well, but but yeah, it became a full band effort, and it was we're pretty proud for it to be the very first thing we did, because it was really early on in the process, and it kind of encapsulated all of the conversations that we were having about what we wanted this band to be about moving in the future.
All right. Well, looking forward again to more new music from you guys, and hopefully see you guys real soon. And God bless. And again, thanks for our relationship over these years. We really do appreciate it. We love you guys, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. We love you too.
Thanks. All right. Thanks for your time, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.